are you? So this is a trip to Chesil Beach. So we're going to give that a go. Should get there in a few hours. It's a trip I've always wanted to do. It's a long way for me, but I've got some time. The conditions are looking quite good. Some high pressure and swell map says the waves aren't about like 0.5 of a metre, 0.6, something like that. So it's a new challenge. It's yeah, you know, working out the tides, and I've got as much information as I possibly can from the internet and Facebook and things like that. So we're literally just going to give it a go and see how we get on. Probably going to give it a couple of days and have a couple of sessions. Going to try Abbotsbury, and I think, is it Ferry Bridge or Ivy Bridge or something like that, the one closest to Weymouth Harbour there. We're going to be targeting place. What else are we going to be targeting? Try and get a ray as well, and anything which comes along really. Got a couple of rods. So I'll see you when I'm on the beach. So I was just then thinking, it's like coming from Norwich, I'm coming from Norfolk, heading down to Weymouth here, and I just sort of looked at the fuel gauge and I thought, well, that's not too bad. And I was just thinking about it, it's actually an easterly wind. So there's a tailwind on the car all the way down there. So that's an added bonus. And this sunshine. I was going to go late this evening and drive down in the dark from like 7 o'clock and get there midnight and just have a little nap in the car before I start in the morning. But because there's sometimes when you're driving in the dark make you a little bit sleepy, so I just thought, bugger it, I'll just come down in the afternoon. And that's a lot easier driving, 10 times easier driving. Lovely sunshine as well. So so yeah, it's yeah, just thought I'd let you in on that one. This is the new TomTom look. We bought that recently. Just makes life easier when you're driving. You just put in the postcode and away you go. It just tells you where to go, especially around London and places like that. It's very useful for traffic and traffic updates and things like that. There's the moon. There's the moon phase. So that's going to be slowly getting more and more to the full moon. Can't remember what the precise term of it is, but that's the that's what we got. So really, it's getting the moon phase to tie in with the conditions, and it takes some doing. So really, the conditions we've got are perfect, but you could argue the moon phase is not tying in with it. If you can get the perfect combination. So right now we've got high pressure coming, right, and you want to coincide it with some new moon, the dark moon, so it's not quite right. That's a very difficult thing to do, to get all the timing right on certain venues, swell and everything. But sometimes when you've just got fishable conditions on some storm beaches, you just have to go and fish it anyway and just try your luck. But yeah, that's all. Just got to try your luck. So we're just on the beach here at Chesil, and not getting any bites at the minute. That's low tide, and we don't like as much tide or anything. I've got plain leads on, so yeah. But it's got the wind behind us. That's going absolutely miles. Look how much line's out on the reel there. Loads. So we've got plenty of range there. The only thing I'm thinking of is, because it's low water and it's not, it's talking about 4 or 5 o'clock high water, and peak time's like 4 hours before and 3 hours after. We're a bit early. So I could have probably done with fishing at a slightly different venue a bit further. There's one called Abbotsbury further up there, and that, I think that's more focused on the low bit of the tide. So we might have dropped a bit of a clanger there. But I've come here based on place reports really. But we might come a little bit early, but yeah, that's what it's like. So we might have to venture into the tackle shop and get a bit more bait for tomorrow, because our bait's looking like it's gonna get smashed. Alright. 8:30 till 10. So there's a chance of a fish. So we will see. But I get the impression we're early. I hope I don't blank on this Chesil trip. I really don't. What was I going to say? It's a bit negative, won't it? So if you look at the beach here, what it's saying is, it's saying the best time for the fishing, I'm guessing for the place, is the 4 hours as it comes up, and then the 3 hours as it goes back down. So I hope I'm wrong, but that's what I've read up somewhere. But it does show a few fish in the next hour or so. So I've got a sand eel on each rod, a lug sort of bait on as well, and I'm fishing. It's very difficult to see bites with this wind. It's a very strong easterly over the top, flattening this out. So there was a splash this morning. There was some sort of a splash down here. Could have been a bass, close in. Wasn't a seal because I didn't see it again. Wasn't a bird diving, so I guess that could have been a bass, early morning bass. Spinning gear. There's no one down here this morning having a spin. But yeah. Right. So here we are. It's approaching 10 o'clock. And I've made a call based on just like bites and things and stuff going on. I've made a call just to drop down to one rod. Because I've got some info that from about midday till about 4 o'clock, high water, is sorry, let's get this from 12 o'clock till 4 o'clock, yeah, it's high water, that's when it's meant to be got a better chance. So instead of just pissing my bait away, I'm going down to one rod, just to sort of let that be the rod which sort of tells you what's going on out there, and then we can sort of tailor it to suit. Do you know what I mean? It's otherwise what happens is you get to the best stage of the tide when there's a few fish starting to show, and all your best bait and lugworms has been just wasted on a crap part of the tide because there's nothing about. That's the theory anyway. That's all I can do. I'm starting to have second thoughts whether I should have come to this spot or I should have gone round to Abbotsbury up there. But I'm going to go there tomorrow anyway, so regardless, whatever we do, it's going to give it a go. Get some ragworm from the tackle shop. I might give them a call later on today and just go and give them a visit, see if I can get a packet of some fresh ragworm for tomorrow. Just to give me a sort of a bit of an edge. I've just got lugworm in there. Yeah, some squid, a couple of packs of squid. I've got some mackerel, a pack of 4 mackerels in there, and I've got some sand eels I caught last year in there. And I've got one now. I've got a sand eel on now, and I've got lugworm tipped with squid on a rolling sinker. So we're just so if there's a so you've got a fish bait there for a ray or for a turbot, something like that, and then you've got your lugworm with a little bit of squid targeting the place. So we just need Just need a little bit of luck, but I don't think they'll be showing for a few hours yet. So we're just going to be patient, So that's it. Lovely day. Beautiful day. Hello, back again. So, just got one rod wound in. Still fishing with the other, probably going to rebait in a little while. So I've just got some notes here which I've formed. A bit of a guide for me while I'm down here. Save me keep flicking to the phone and looking things up. So April, so we've got for array, we've got sand deal. That's a key one I found. It says place, main run starts to decrease. So I'm talking about the tide there. The main run starts to decrease, slack finished. Okay, so that's when the incoming tide is coming roaring through. When it just starts to ease off, that's a good time. So it says here, high water 2 to 3 hours after is a hot time when the right to left slows. All right. Okay. So it's that period. There's a period over high tide where it's going to be good for place. See, we've got all the timing wrong, you see. All the timing wrong. We really want to start the morning in an ebb spot. I got here at Abbotsbury, look, ebb, bottom of tide, 1 hour before low, 3 hours after. So we're in the wrong spot. We'll start off over there, and then once that's done, you then quickly come round here. But we're not to know. Well, we are to know because I've got it written here. But until you sort of turn up and sort of look at what you're dealing with, especially if you're not a local to these sort of beaches, it takes a while to read what's going on. So it's almost like right now there's someone's pulled the plug out and all the fish have disappeared down through the plug. But I guarantee you, 2 hours before high, sort of 2 hours after, there'll be a few fish about. I put money on it. What's this? Yeah, so here, Ferry Bridge where we are, it says incoming. 4 hours before high, 3 hours back. So that's what we're down to one rod, you see. I don't use up my bait. Waiting. I mean, I say it's easy just to sort of, you know, to be fishing somewhere like Abbotsbury and then come all the way, lug your gear here. So not only have you got to go at Abbotsbury in the morning, then you've got to lug all your gear to your hot spot or whatever. You've got to lug it all the back, put it in the car, get in the car, drive round it. You've got to pay for parking in 2 spots. And then you come here, then you've got to sort of fight to get a spot. Sometimes, you know, it's just, you just take it as it comes, and what unfolds is what unfolds. You can exhaust yourself. And then another one here, West Bexington, 2 hours before high, 3 hours back. So that's a bit like here. 1 hour before low, 2 hours into the flood. Some unusual sort of tides here where they sort of have this like, I'll show you on this bit of paper I've done, look. Where are we? This is Monday. That's sort of a double sort of tide, look. So there it is, look. It had some fish showing up at 8:30 and 10 o'clock. I'm not being funny. I got snipped off. And someone mentioned about spider crabs being on this beach and it will snip you off. But normal crabs can snip you off. I mean, I'm only using £15 on the little size 1 hooks for place. £15 amnesia. So it's quite easy to snip if you're a crab. I've been checking them for chasing as well. So where are we? So yeah, so at 12:16 it's bottom of the tide. And then we rises all the way to 16:40, and this here, yeah, so it points towards, yeah, good fish. Abbotsbury tonight, look, in the dark, just this sort of area, this period. See what that sort of throws up. But tomorrow I was gonna go Abbotsbury and fish, get in a position sort of this sort of time, early in the morning, and just fish this patch here up till sort of dinner time. Going to fish this and see what that does. That's the plan anyway. That's the plan, he says. Lovely being down here though. So we're just waiting around for the tide to change. It's slack now. So I'm just watching as the slack comes in. There's some little bits of foam. I'm just waiting for it to start accelerating this way, and then I'm going to start putting baits out, because it's just a waste of time. The wind's changed. This morning, as you're aware, it was coming right over my shoulder here. Now it's actually coming along the side here. It's going southeast. So actually, fishing at Abbotsbury now, you'd be getting a bit of a swell on, a bit of a lump on the base, which wouldn't. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but you. So now I'm going to be casting at an angle, so I could actually aim my casts more this way, and that'll just pick up the sinker again and get extra distance. If I cast this way, I'll probably take them that way anyway, but I might just angle it round a little bit. But at Abbotsbury, you could argue it'd be almost coming at your side on. Sorry, coming at you to your face a bit, I would say. So I'll probably move round into the car park there tonight, and we'll just assess it to see if we can do a couple of hours in the dark. Out in front of where the cars are parked probably, and then in the morning, first light, I'll head up and just give it a go over the low water period, either at Dragon's Teeth or just before it, somewhere like that. Just see if we can fluke something out. You never know, you've got to be in it to win it. It's a lovely beach though. I've always wanted to fish it. But again, it's like a lot of these things, is you just, you've got to go in at the right time. Everything's sort of come together, which can be quite hard on this beach, I would say, from just me looking at it. Getting it fishable. This wants to be no more than a metre. I think we've got that now. It's about half a metre, 0.6, something like that. But very tricky place to fish. But it's nice today. Got the sun out. It was cold this morning, very cold. Some guys turned up in the car park at 9:30, and they headed out over the bank. I was in my car, had the heater on and the car engine running, and just had a McDonald's. And they headed out with their head out. And they reminded me of, like, when you see those blokes going for like the summit of Mount Everest at midnight, and they got their torches on and all the gear on. They were walking up and going up, sort of thing, and that reminded me of that. Anyway, to cut a long story short, it was fucking freezing last night, absolutely freezing, and I'd driven from Norwich, and I got in the car park at about 8 o'clock. And I had it on my mind to go fishing, and I was just like, no, that's a long drive, let's get some rest. And so anyway, these guys, they turned up and then they went up anyway, but half 2 this morning, they come running back. They were getting in 3 o'clock in the morning, they come back to their car, and yeah, it was so cold. It was something about when it hit like 3 o'clock, it was just really icicle cold. Probably 0, I would say. And so yeah, it's nice now. It's still cold though, but it's nice. Keeps the bait nice and cold. Although I've got some frozen stuff in there helping to keep it the lower cold. But so I'm in a little bit of a dilemma what to do. When the tide starts, there might be quite a bit of tide coming running through, so I'll probably start with these sinkers. Definitely going to start with one of them on. But if you go to a rolling lead, I could have the rod which I cast a bit shorter distance. I could have that on a rolling lead, and that'll you know, roll round as soon as any fish. But when a lead is rolling like that, I mean, I'm not sure how snaggy it is out here, but when it rolls, that's when you got a chance to run into a snag. Especially if you've got two hooks on, like these ones here. There's two sets of place hooks on. So if I'm going to a rolling lead, you might want to snip off the upper snood. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's got less chance of snagging. So we'll just see how it goes. So really, I think you need to go to the rolling lead as the tide starts to ease. When there's plenty of tide, probably doesn't matter so much. But when that maybe an hour before high water, when the tide eases off a little bit, you're going to want your baits to sort of drift and to work for you a little bit. And maybe as the tide just starts to ebb away from high water as well, that period there. But when the tide comes in, which I assume is going to come from left to right this way, so it's going to flood in. It's ebbed this way. It's been doing this morning this way. So when it comes in, that's the signal for the fish, you know, to come in and to see what the tide has sort of brought them. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's almost like the tide sweeps in, brings in all the food, and then at a certain time of the tide, the place which are offshore, the rays and stuff like that, they'll know when to come in at a certain time to intercept the food, which is being dragged around this point here, in this bay here, to this area here. That's the theory anyway. I don't know how far from it I am, but the amount of times when I've been fishing off our Norfolk coast, when I drop a lugworm bait short at high water, or maybe half an hour before high water, all of a sudden there appears to be some flatfish. They've appeared, and they're really close in. I'm talking 20 yards, because I'm bass fishing as well, and I'm picking them up, and I'm thinking to myself, well, they weren't taking the baits earlier on. Those fish have arrived. It's almost like certain fish, they arrive at a certain point in the tide looking for food. They're not there all the time. They wait for a certain time in the tide to come in, and I'm pretty sure that's what will happen here with the flatfish. I think after the tide roaring in for a few hours, once the tide starts to ease, I think that's when you'll see them start to come in. We'll see what unfolds, see if that theory is correct. Gin still up. That's appropriate, isn't it? Because we're in Dorset, the south coast, isn't it? So that comes from there. Look, bit pointless. Hang on, what we got here? Has it got a fish? That's the first fish I've seen caught. Right, we might make a start then soon. It's like a little whiting or something. Fish. Well, that's about an hour before high water, and I've been on the beach since 7 o'clock, and I haven't had a ecking thing. Not a whiting, not a rockling, not a little anything. Nor has this bloke's been on the beach. He slept overnight. I think I sent him catch a whiting, and that's about it. It is absolutely dead. I cannot believe it. I've got over 50 quid's worth of fucking bait in there, right? And I ain't had anything. Absolutely anything. And I'm doing everything. Where there was somebody online, somebody who worked at Vales, who was fishing in exactly the same spot week ago or whenever it was, and he had 8 in about 2 hours, exactly the same range, bait, presentation, hooks, everything, and we ain't had fucking nothing. It's like what I was saying earlier on, it's like someone's literally just opened a plug hole and all the fish have disappeared down it. But I've seen this a few times. Seen this quite a lot. You can't explain it. It's like the conditions are right. You think everything should be right for a reasonable day's fishing, and then nothing at all. It's really weird. Really weird. The only thing I can say is that it's like it's trying to become a new moon. Have I said that right? No, it's trying to become a full moon. So it's very bright and very bright. There's no clouds, and it's very what's the word? It's very cold in the mornings. You wouldn't think it'd make a lot of difference, but it's very, very cold in the mornings. It warms up a bit in the afternoon, but I think that just sort of, the fish might be staying out deeper. It was really cold last night. I'm just wondering if that's what's sort of putting them off a bit. Staying deeper where water's warmer. That's where inshore that the cold snap from the evenings is it's just cooling the water in close in, because fish are very influenced by water temperature. I'm wondering if that's what's causing it. But as soon as darkness falls, if you can't catch a whiting, there's got to be something wrong, isn't there? But who wants to catch a bloody whiting? It's holding out for something to happen, but that's temperature, I think, which is causing the problems. It's temperature. But I mean, I had the time to do this trip anyway. I mean, I would have had these problems on the East Coast, possibly. I wouldn't have fucking blanked like this though. But yeah, we're down here tonight, and we're going to give that Abbotsbury a go tomorrow, and that's it. That's all you can do. You never know, you might get a surprise, but that's been pretty disappointing so far. You never know. You might go up there tomorrow and think, oh my god, you know, what a good day. I doubt it, but we're up here anyway. But wow, this has been really disappointing, because it looks so good. Big ocean, open beach. It's fishable. It's clear for place. You'd expect them to turn up. Anyway, I don't know. Unbelievable. Right. So we're heading to Abbotsbury. This is Goose Hill. So look at this sunshine. Sort of racing to get to the car park before it gets dark. Plan is to sort of get paid up and use the lavatories and grab the gear. I just fished till about 10:30 or so. Just a little short session, probably not too far away from the car park. So if there's space, look at that over there. Gorgeous. I'm filming this because it's like I don't live in this neck of the woods, and it's these sort of images that you forget. So having a bit of a video of it is very nice, I have to say. So that's the plan. The plan is probably, well, I don't really know what. I've got squid, I've got mackerel, I've got sand eel, I've got some lugworm left over. So we're really, you know, we've fished today up at the other end, at the east end, near Portland, and blanked, just nothing at all. No place, nothing. We were just targeting place, but we occasionally had the odd sand eel on a second hook. Nothing at all. And there's two other guys fishing to my left, and I think during the entire day down there I saw somebody just reel in a tiny little whiting or something like that. So I'm lost for words really. But that's fishing. It's high pressure. High pressure's coming onto us now. So I don't really sort of, you do get that, you get them mystery sort of days where you think that's going to be good, it looks good, it was clear, place feed in the clear, fish the airband, a bit, you know, the incoming tide right up to high water, nothing. Abbotsbury, here we are, and yeah, so that was that. Nothing you can really do about it. It's happened many times, but you just literally, you just keep going. See, really, I'm seeing this trip as a bit of a sort of a, you know, just if I can get a few fish out of this end, then that's sort of, you know, then that's, I'm going to look at it a bit differently. But it's we're here till tomorrow. I'm going to fish tomorrow a little bit, just like half a day, and then we're heading home. So we've got a little session tonight, and we've got a morning session, and then we're buggering off home. So from that, I will, you know, I'll get some information from it. So what's sort of going on. Let's just go down. He's not indicating. Going down to Abbotsbury, look. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Yes, it's bar shop. It's bar shop. So yeah, that's pretty good. Girlfriend was checking up on me a little while ago. She's just got back from Centre Parks with her kids, and yeah, got some fuel, got some Pepsi, so I'll be back home tomorrow evening. I would say probably back about 8 o'clock, something like that. So just a short little trip. Spent, I don't know, to fill her up, it cost me 60 quid of the super fuel. This car runs on super fuel, super unleaded. And just do another 50 in it to sort of got enough fuel to sort of nearest bugger it get back, I would say. Probably 2 get back. What's going on here? God, can't see anything there. Here we are. Iconic venue, this. I'm gonna have to put this, I think I'm just gonna have to put this bit on YouTube. Journey down to Abbotsbury, UK Mecca, surf casting. Now, it really is it's got everything really. Tope in the summer, you know, turbot, big turbot. Probably get a brill there as well. You know, cod. You name it. It's got everything. This one, red mullet, blonde rays. You name it. That's sort of beach calf. So there's a calf there. What we got there? What we got? Let's just listen to it. Oh wow, look at this. Camping. Fishing. Similar. Staff needed. Oh, what was that? No metal detecting. Why not? Why not any metal detecting? Pay a meter. Pay a meter. Parking over there. Somebody's watching me. I think, who's that crazy brat in the wallet there? Let's go and sort of. Let's go. got here? Oh, it's cheaper here, look. £8 up to 24 hours. I think that's one we need, isn't it? That's fair enough. Pay by phone. Location 804555. Let's go and do that then. 804555. Oh, 804555. We're here. We are Abbotsbury. Look at it. Dragon's teeth up there, look. Moon up there. We made it. We made it. We made it. This is the mecca of all UK angling spots, and I've made it. I'm so pleased. I haven't got anything yet. Oh my god. I was over at Portland earlier on, going after a place, and nothing at all. Beautiful day. Caught the sun. But I was going to go to this spot, but I just decided to go over there. But we're here now. So I'm going to fish a few hours in the dark, and then I'm going to, tomorrow morning, I'm going to head up this way and give that a go. And then I'll probably have to go home. So, but look at this now. Isn't it lovely? I see the, I watched the videos on this place on YouTube, and trying to visualise what it's like, and now I'm here, yeah, all clear, look. Fine shingle, real fine shingle. I'm fishing, I'm feeling a bit tired, so I'm actually fishing quite heavy. I'm fishing, one of the rods got two 4.0 Varavas hooks with a sand eel and a squid, lund squid, or greater launce, whatever, wrapped together. That's been pelted out a long way with a 7-ounce lead, something like that. That's gone a long way out, so I'm just leaving that. I'm hoping I can pick up a blonde ray or something like that, any sort of ray. And then the other rod, I've lobbed it probably 60 yards, something like that, and I'm fishing a whole joey mackerel. I'm paranoid in the dark we're going to get the usual suspects. If I fish small on lugworm and cut strips of mackerel and things like that, and squid, I just know Mr. Dogfish is going to come lurking. So he probably will do anyway, but at least if I've got a bigger hook on this mackerel, it's about a 7.0, something like that, and it's a whole mackerel. I've bridle rigged it with some cable ties, and I've not whacked it too hard because the mackerel is a bit soft, and although it's gone through the eyes, it could still ping off, so you have to be a little bit delicate. They're not invincible, do you know what I'm saying? But as with the other bait, don't matter, so much cotton around it, just gone a country mile, just whacked it. So we're sort of one long, one short, and doesn't appear to be too many snags. Well, I don't know, but I never hear about snags along this beach. I'm sure there is, but Dragon's Teeth is over there, Portland over there. So we've come mainly because I've got some time available and the conditions are falling right. However, I like to fish on bigger tides. However, I have read that they're saying big tides can be a bit of a nightmare here, so I was like, oh, all right. So I've come down and the moon is doing this. It's not quite a full moon yet. I prefer it when it's the new moon. I catch better fish when it's a dark moon, not a bright moon like this. It's very clear skies as well. It's been sunny today, sunny every day. So I'm hoping the cover of darkness is going to give us something a little bit different. I'm hoping anyway. If we get one, I'll let you know. So Abbotsbury. It's a funny noise. I thought it was a seal or something. Here, I can hear it creaking. It's quite eerie. I've not heard anything quite like it on a beach. But I think it's when the waves break and they come into the bank, it makes a sort of an air pocket or a collapse of the shingle, and it makes a funny creaking noise. I thought there was a seal out there or something. It sounded like a horse. Don't know if you can unusual. It's like it's devoid of fish at the minute, and honestly that is a waste of time. No dancing rod tips, no drop backs, nothing. That's just, we've just got caught up in some shit timing. That's a bloody shame, that is. There's nothing, zero. Nothing nibbling them baits, nothing at all, not even a dogfish. Crazy. Absolutely crazy it is, that really is. Other people fishing, look down that end. People fishing during the day, people fishing last night. But it's just, it's high pressure. I just don't get it. The only thing I can think of is we want some bigger tides, but I said avoid the big tides on the internet. It's too difficult, but I always like a bit of tide. Helicopter over there. Some sort of bird making funny noise. We're packing up in a few minutes. I'm packing up by 10 o'clock, so I can't see the point. I might even pack up now. This is just a waste of time. What I can say of it. Waste of time. Very disappointing. But if you come when it's hot, who puts the time in, but you get it wrong, it's just, even some of the best venues, if you get it wrong, your timing wrong, you're screwed. Screwed. Spanked, as I call it. That's what I'm going to call this video. Spanked at Chesil Beach. I think that's a fair assessment. Not blanked, but spanked. I could call it that, couldn't I? Spanked at Chesil Beach. Can't fault the rods and the reels though. Real top distance as well. That's another thing, it's like, that's so deep. That water up that end is so deep. I think that's deeper than this end. Yeah. I think that's time to call it, I think. Let's call it. Right, over and out.